I never expected to voice this on a public platform, but there is something associated with the object known as 3I Atlas that has just awakened, and it does not belong to any nation on Earth. Before we dive in, I need you to do me a favor. Please comment your city name below and let me know if you've noticed anything out of the ordinary in the night sky lately. Lights moving in patterns too precise to be coincidental. NASA hasn't made this public yet, but they are tracking reports from around the world. Your observations could be the crucial piece we need. What I'm about to disclose could fundamentally alter your perception of humanity's position in the universe. I am a theoretical physicist, and I have dedicated my life to studying the intricacies of space-time, the birth of stars, and the demise of galaxies. I've stood before blackboards filled with equations that describe the curvature of reality itself. I have engaged in debates with colleagues regarding the nature of consciousness, the existence of parallel universes, and the ultimate fate of everything we understand. However, nothing, absolutely nothing, could have prepared me for what I discovered 3 weeks ago during a classified briefing I was unexpectedly invited to attend. It all started with 3I Atlas. Perhaps you've heard of it. The media referred to it as a comet, a rogue intruder from another star system passing through our solar system at speeds indicating it had been drifting through the cosmos for millions of years. Upon its initial detection, astronomers celebrated this rare find. Interstellar objects are invaluable chances to study materials formed around alien stars under extraterrestrial conditions. We had only witnessed one prior. Oumuamua, that peculiar cigar-shaped object that wandered through our neighborhood in 2017, leaving us with more questions than answers. But 3I Atlas was distinct. It was larger, brighter, and its trajectory troubled NASA's orbital mechanics experts. Not alarmingly incorrect, you understand, just slightly off. Like a note played slightly out of tune in an otherwise flawless symphony. Most experts dismissed it as the expected complex gravitational interactions occurring as the object was pulled by the Sun, Jupiter, and other massive bodies of our solar system. Then, 6 months after it reached perihelion, its closest approach to the Sun, something transpired that transformed everything. A satellite activated. Not one of ours. No American, Russian, Chinese, European, or Indian agency had any record of launching anything on that specific trajectory. Yet there it was on the deep space telemetry arrays, a signal, faint at first, barely distinguishable from background radiation, but unmistakably artificial. It consisted of structure, rhythm, and information density that made our advanced communications protocols resemble smoke signals. The signal originated from a location approximately 40,000 kilometers from 3I Atlas. Following its path and perfectly matching its trajectory, I received a call at 2 a.m. from a voice I recognized. Someone high in the advisory hierarchy, who doesn't make casual phone calls, informed me that I needed to board a plane in 4 hours. There was no explanation, just coordinates for a facility I had never heard of, hidden in a desert where the public does not venture and satellites cannot observe clearly. Upon my arrival, I was guided through security processes that would make a nuclear launch site feel casual. I was then ushered into a room where 37 of the world's foremost scientists sat in complete silence, staring at screens filled with data that appeared to contradict everything we thought we understood about our cosmic neighborhood. The object they were monitoring, along with this concealed satellite, had been dormant for an indefinite time. Perhaps years, maybe centuries. The unsettling aspect, the part that sent chills through me, even in that climate-controlled room, was that it activated precisely 17 hours after a certain radio telescope array in New Mexico completed broadcasting an updated message into deep space. This message was crafted as part of our ongoing efforts to announce humanity's presence to any potential extraterrestrial intelligence. The 17-hour light-speed delay regarding something located near 3I Atlas indicated that it had heard us and had awakened. Let me clarify what this signifies. We are not addressing a natural phenomenon. We are not discussing some exotic astrophysical process mimicking technology. The structure of the signal has been scrutinized by cryptographers, linguists, mathematicians, and AI systems more advanced than anything the public is aware of. It contains layered information, nested protocols, what appears to be addressed metadata, akin to a letter that knows its recipient and adjusts its contents accordingly. Furthermore, it's not merely transmitting, it's scanning. The satellite, though we are referring to it as such, as its true structure remains frustratingly unclear on every imaging system we've employed, emits pulses across multiple wavelengths, radar, LAR, electromagnetic frequencies we seldom utilize due to their inefficiency with our technology. It's mapping something, measuring something, measuring us. One of the experts in that room, a woman who has spent 20 years analyzing space debris and tracking thousands of objects in Earth's orbit, shared a thought that has haunted me since. It's performing a census. Consider that. An alien technology stationed near an interstellar object that conveniently traversed our solar system awakens when we announce our existence and immediately begins cataloging our world, our population centers, our technological signatures, our electromagnetic fingerprints. A singular, terrifying question paralyzed everyone in that room. How long has it been there? Did it arrive with 3I Atlas? Or had it been present, dormant, waiting for us to reach a certain level of development, waiting for us to become noticeable, waiting for us to broadcast our presence with such clarity and intention that we could no longer claim ignorance or innocence? I have spent my career exploring the possibility of extraterrestrial intelligence. I have written books on the topic, delivered lectures, and envisioned the moment of contact with a blend of scientific excitement and philosophical wonder. However, I always assumed we would be the ones reaching out into the empty cosmos, hoping for a response that might arrive centuries later, if ever. I never imagined they were already among us, watching and waiting for us to raise our hands in class. The data grows stranger. The signal from the satellite isn't constant. It pulses in patterns seemingly correlated with specific events on Earth. When we launched a new GPS satellite cluster last month, the pulse rate escalated. When a significant power grid failure occurred in Central Europe, it increased once more. It's not merely observing, it's reacting, learning, building a model of our civilization in real time. Then there's the frequency. Hidden within the carrier wave of the primary signal is something else, something the AI systems took 3 days to isolate because it was concealed using a technique we only theorized about: quantum entanglement-based information encoding. When they finally extracted it and processed it through every translation protocol available, they found something that caused the director of the facility to leave the room physically. It was a number. A simple, elegant, prime number of tremendous size. The kind of number that serves as a mathematical handshake between intelligences that may not share language, culture, or biology, but both comprehend the fundamental patterns of the universe. Beneath that number lay a sequence. When that sequence was mapped against known cosmic coordinates, it indicated 16 different star systems, some within 100 light-years of Earth, others thousands of light-years away. 16 points of origin, representing 16 civilizations, or more precisely, civilizations that used to exist. For when we aimed our most potent telescopes at those coordinates, scrutinizing the light emitted from those stars centuries or millennia ago, we detected signatures, the unmistakable spectroscopic evidence of advanced industrial chemistry, atmospheric compositions that could not arise naturally, megastructure transit signals, all the fingerprints of technological civilizations that had achieved at least our level of advancement. In every instance, those signatures vanished, fell silent, and returned to the background noise of natural stellar activity. Do you grasp the implications of what I'm narrating? We are being presented with a gallery of the dead, a museum of extinct voices. 16 civilizations that reached a stage where they could announce their existence to the cosmos, and then ceased to exist shortly thereafter. The satellite doesn't merely observe us, it is cataloging us, adding us to a list. Some specialists in that facility suspect it may serve as a warning system, a cosmic quarantine buoy marking a region of space where emergent civilizations are isolated until they prove themselves deserving or inadvertently self-destruct. Others theorize something far darker, a targeting system for an incomprehensible process, enabling something vast and ancient to identify worlds approaching a dangerous threshold where they might venture beyond their planet without the wisdom required to do so responsibly. There's a concept in evolutionary biology known as the Great Filter, the idea that somewhere between the emergence of life and the evolution of galaxy-spanning civilizations, there exists a barrier, a test that most species fail. We have long pondered where that filter might lie. Is it behind us? Did we surpass it when we navigated the Cold War without nuclear devastation? Or is it ahead of us, lurking in our future like an invisible wall, waiting to crash into us without warning? I believe we have just discovered the filter, and it is observing us right now from 40,000 kilometers away. From an interstellar comet we thought was merely a chunk of rock and ice, the satellite remains active, still transmitting. Its signal strength indicates it is designed to be heard across interstellar distances, implying that whoever launched it, whoever constructed it, is aware it is here. They know we are here. They may be receiving status updates in real time, discovering that system number 17 has attained radio capability and has begun the same behavioral patterns that preceded the silence of the previous 16. NASA has assembled a working group, scientists from every imaginable discipline alongside military strategists, philosophers, and even theologians. They are endeavoring to determine our response. Do we attempt to communicate? Do we send a probe to investigate it physically? Do we try to eliminate it? Or would that act of aggression trigger whatever process it is meant to enact? Or do we choose inaction? Do we maintain our silence, cease our broadcasts, dim our electromagnetic signatures, and hope that silence might be our salvation? But here's the existential dread that haunts me. It's already too late for that. We have been noticed. We crossed some invisible threshold decades ago, and only now are we uncovering that the cosmos has been keeping score. I reflect on humanity's journey. We descended from the trees. We discovered fire, built cities, composed symphonies, split the atom, and walked on the moon. At each stage of that journey, we believed we were alone, unique, the universe's sole experiment in self-aware matter. But what if we are not special? What if we are typical? What if the universe is filled with species that follow the same developmental arc from single cells to spacefaring civilizations? And what if something awaits at the end of that arc, something that decides whether each new voice in the cosmic chorus may continue its song or must be silenced? The satellite near 3I Atlas might be the key to Fermi's paradox. You know the question, if the universe is so vast and ancient, where is everybody? Why haven't we encountered any evidence of other civilizations? Perhaps we have not seen them because they failed the test. Maybe the galaxy is inhabited by watchers positioned near every young civilization, assessing and evaluating, and when necessary, enforcing a cosmic law we are just beginning to understand. I do not know what happens next. None of us do. The satellite persists in its observations, and the signal continues its course toward unknown destinations. Meanwhile, the majority of humanity goes on, oblivious to the fact that we are being scrutinized by an intelligence that renders our entire civilization akin to bacteria in a petri dish. Contingency plans are being formulated, scenarios are being modeled. But how do you prepare for something so far beyond your comprehension that you cannot even frame the question accurately? I have devoted my life to pushing the boundaries of human understanding. I have explored the mathematics of higher dimensions, the possibilities of time travel, the very nature of consciousness. I have always held that knowledge is power, that comprehending the universe makes us stronger, safer, and more capable of directing our destiny. But as I stood in that facility, observing the data streaming in from an alien satellite that is evaluating our species against criteria we do not comprehend, I experienced something I had never felt in my scientific career. I felt small. I felt fear. Not the kind of fear associated with a specific threat you can confront or flee from, but the fear of recognizing that you are playing a game whose rules were established long before you were born by players whose motivations you cannot grasp. And the consequence of losing might be the extinction of everything you have ever known or loved. The object we refer to as 3I Atlas will eventually depart our solar system, continuing its billion-year voyage through the cosmic void. But the satellite will remain, watching, transmitting, waiting to determine our next move. And somewhere unfathomably far away, something is receiving those transmissions, learning about us, deciding our fate. I would like to conclude this with a sense of hope. I want to convey that humanity will rise to this challenge, that our curiosity and ingenuity will find a method to communicate, to prove our worthiness to join whatever cosmic community might exist amongst the stars. However, I cannot guarantee that because I do not know if the test is one we can even pass. What I do know is that we are navigating the most pivotal moment in human history, and most individuals remain entirely unaware of it. The moment we realized that we are not the creators of our own story, but rather characters in a narrative that commenced long before Earth even came into being. So I ask you, what do you believe we should do? If you were the one making decisions for all of humanity, with the knowledge that an alien intelligence is observing and evaluating every action we take, what choices would you make? Silence or communication? Aggression or submission? Do we extend open hands or brace ourselves for the possibility that some truths might be too perilous to pursue? Please comment with your thoughts below, not just for my sake, but because I truly believe that the answer to our cosmic dilemma may not emerge from governments or scientists, but from the collective wisdom of everyday individuals who grasp something the experts may have overlooked. That being human means taking risks, forging connections, and choosing hope, even when fear appears to be the more rational option. Follow this channel as we continue to decode the universe's final warnings, because what transpires in the coming months may determine whether humanity becomes the 17th extinct civilization on this list or the first to break the cycle. The satellite remains active, still transmitting, and somewhere amidst the darkness between stars, something is listening. The only question that remains is, what will they decide?